1 Samuel 5. God's chest among the Philistines. After the Philistines took God's chest, they brought it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. Then the Philistines took God's chest and brought it into Dagon's temple and set it next to Dagon. But when the citizens of Ashdod got up early the next morning, there was Dagon fallen face down on the ground before the Lord's chest. So they took Dagon and set him back up where he belonged. But when they got up early the next morning, there was Dagon again, fallen face down on the ground before the Lord's chest. And this time, Dagon's head, along with both of his hands, were cut off and lying on the doorstep. Only Dagon's body was left intact. That's why, to this day, Dagon's priest or anyone who enters his temple in Ashdod doesn't step on the threshold. The Lord's hand was heavy on the people of Ashdod. God terrified them and struck them in Ashdod and its surroundings with tumors. When Ashdod inhabitants saw what was happening, they said, "The chest of Israel, God must not stay here with us, because his hand is against us and against our god Dagon." So they summoned all the Philistine rulers to a meeting and asked, "What should we do with the chest of Israel's God?" The people of Gath said, "Let the chest of Israel God be moved to us." So they moved the chest of Israel God to Gath. But once they moved it, the Lord's hand came against the city, causing a huge panic. God struck the city of inhabitants, both young and old, and tumors broke out on them. Then they sent God's chest to Ekron. But as soon as God's chest entered Ekron, the inhabitants cried out, "Why have you moved the chest of Israel God to us in order to kill us and our people?" So they summoned all the Philistine rulers to a meeting and said, "Send the chest of Israel's God away. Let it go back to its own home so it doesn't kill us and our people," because there was a deadly panic throughout the whole city. The hand of God was heavily there. The people who didn't die were struck with tumors, and the screams in the city went all the way up to heaven. Thank you for listening to this chapter, and God bless.